Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. We're going to drive up and down the Las Vegas Strip, and I am going to answer the burning question. What the actual F is going on with the Mirage, aka the Hard Rock? Is the casino getting torn down? Is the volcano still going to go? When is that guitar going to get built? We're going to discuss all of that to the best of my knowledge right after this. And we're back. We're about to pass the Mirage right now, as a matter of fact. So, as you know, they being the Seminole tribe, which owns Hard Rock, they bought the casino and the associated properties, hotels, the volcano, the whole 9 yards, a little over a year ago. Now, they are allowed to use the name, oh, look at that, we see some construction as we speak. They are allowed to use the name Mirage for 3 years. When they bought the property, they were allowed a 3-year royalty-free. They don't have to pay anything to use the name for 3 years. They have 2 years left to use the name Mirage, but the clock is ticking. 2 years left. They have to start rebranding, or I'm sure they can go back in and make another arrangement to either extend that or pay to use the name Mirage, should they not be ready to go. So they have about 2 years left on that. Now, the other thing that you need to know is that they do not actually own the land that the property sits on. That is owned by Vici, and they pay $90 million a year as a lease for the actual ground, the dirt that property sits on. So that is in, I don't know how long a lease, but I'm sure it's an extraordinarily long lease with cost of living and everything else incorporated into it. We're about to pass the construction taking place at Bellagio as well. So what do I actually know and what don't I know about the upcoming construction here, and what's my speculation on it? Well, what I do know from reading things at the county commission level and plans, and these transpired quite a few months ago. We're gonna sit in this traffic for a while. This is just brutal, which I'm gonna get into how this is gonna affect the Mirage construction. So, as I said, they have about 2 years left on being able to use the name for free. Okay, here is what I know, then we'll get into what I don't know. What I do know is that the Hard Rock is talking about, get this, opening the property sometime in 2028. They are hoping for the beginning of 2028. So let's assume some time and cost overruns. So that's going to put it probably mid-2028, possibly 2029. That is 5 years from now. They anticipate that construction alone is going to take 30 months, approximately 30 months. So let's call that 36 months. That is 3 years. So if they plan on getting complete by, let's call it mid-20, let's get out of this traffic, mid-2028, that means they are going to start construction approximately mid to the end of 2025, possibly the beginning of 2026. So in terms of when they anticipate, and they're being very tight-lipped about it, when they anticipate start is approximately 2 years from now. 2 years, a year and a half to 2 years is my prediction that you will not see any type of true construction. Now, if you go on the southwest corner, there is some construction back where the animal habitat used to be. There has been some demolition. You could see it from the back end. And when asked what is going on back there, they're really tight-lipped about it, but it looks like a staging area from my perspective, what they're doing back there. Again, they got rid of the secret garden, and they are getting rid of, well, they have gotten rid of the dolphin concentration camp that they've been running back there for years and years. The dolphins are no longer there. Some of them have passed on, but that's what I choose to call it, the dolphin concentration camp. Okay, I know you're all asking, hey, Bror Fredrik, what about the volcano? Well, the volcano laid dormant during all the construction for F1. And once F1, whoa, geez, this is nuts over here. Once F1 was over, it took them about 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks to clear some of the construction in front of there. And I'm getting pushed over by a bus. So let's go into the next lane here. There we go. Construction on the strip's getting crazy. So they finally reopened it. As of right now, the Mirage volcano is firing off at 7, 8, 9, and 10, but that's only going to last about another week. Right now, it is January 16th. So you have a couple of days before it gets shut down again, if it's not shut down already at the time of this recording. Why is it being shut down? For the Super Bowl, because they plan on turning it into a faux ski thing. It's very unclear what it's supposed to be, but some type of zip line activity. I don't know. It's weird. But everyone's doing some type of front-facing construction for the Super Bowl, which is in approximately 3 weeks. So you're probably not going to see it. Now, will it continue to run? My prediction is it probably will still run after they clean up the Super Bowl mess for a little while anyway. Like I said, from what I see, from everything that's been filed with the county, with the city, and with the state, they are probably not going to start construction till 2025. So they got plenty of time. Speaking of construction, what are they actually doing? Here's what I know so far about what they're actually doing. And we are actually sitting in brutal traffic as per usual. Well, perfect opportunity to do a little talk here. They are indeed building the 660-foot guitar-shaped tower with some type of pavilion. They've received approval for that. So that is going to grace the Las Vegas Strip, and I have mixed feelings about that. I mean, if you're staying at the V and the P, instead of seeing the volcano, you are going to see semi-gaudy guitar. Some people like it, some people hate it. I'm kind of indifferent about it. It depends how they do it, but it's going to be really close to the Strip. That is going to be where the volcano used to reside. They've already done testing there to see if that ground has just been saturated from the water sitting there for a couple of decades. So they might have to backfill concrete and all this other type of stuff in order to get that tower there. We are definitely not turning around and going north on the Strip. They got all 7 lanes going into one. That's going to be brutal. So we'll just keep going straight. What else do I know? We talked about the secret garden being gone. We talked about the dolphin concentration camp being gone. They plan on doing a complete redesign of the pool area, which happens to be one of my favorite pool areas. They have the walk under waterfall, and it was just always such a beautiful pool. They said they're going to keep it somewhat close to the original, but they are going to revamp that entire pool area. So I hope they do keep the walk under and all that type of stuff, because that was always nice. I think that's one of my favorite pools, although I do want to check out the pool at Fountain Blue. That's supposed to be spectacular. So I hope they do a good job over there. These roads are so torn up once you get off the F1 track. It's unfreaking believable. Sorry about the bumps. They do plan on expanding their ballroom area. I was there once. It's kind of, it's dated. It's an old property. So that is something that they applied to do, expanding the ballroom. They do have a theater. I was there about a year ago to see a comedian. It's a fairly nice theater. It's arranged that there's not a bad seat in the house, which I do appreciate, but they are going to double the size of it. They're going to go from approximately 3,200 seats all the way to 6,100 or 200 seats. So they're about doubling the size. Now, the actual casino itself is going to go under a massive reconstruction, because they plan on going from the current 94,000 square feet to 174,000 square feet. That is almost double. That's going to be a huge expansion. The convention area, they're also going to expand by about a third. They have matter of fact, I'm going to take you guys to a convention there in about a week. They're going to go from 200,000 square feet to 283,000 square feet, adding almost a third in the square footage. They're also adding 3 restaurants. They didn't name what they were, and the food areas that they currently have are also going to have a renovation. So the next thing you're probably going to ask is, hey, Bror Fredrik, are they going to close the property or not? They plan on staying open during that. This is a massive reconstruction. It's not just a rebranding. This is a massive reconstruction of the property. Yes, you can get in from behind. You could also get in from the front. The ingress egress situation, they have that covered, but they plan on doing all these renovations of the pool, of the restaurants, of everything, the casino floor, and still have people in there and still have people in the rooms at the same time. That is their intention right now. They do not intend on closing it, because it's going to be closed for almost 3 years, and they're going to be paying Vici $90 million a year. They're going to be losing all that gaming, food, and hotel revenue. They just can't afford to do that. So they are going to do their best to keep people in there and pacify them somehow with a half-open casino and rooms under construction. And they will do a section at a time or a floor at a time. And hopefully, if they're smart, they'll do some type of deals for the aggravation, but they do plan on remaining open for the whole 30 to 36 months, for 2.5 to 3 years during construction. So that's going to be interesting. Now, if you are making reservations, like I said, from what I see right now, you have a good year to maybe 2 years before you have to worry about any type of construction things. That has been established. Now, what nobody's talked about during this whole what's going on with the Mirage situation is the fact that F1 throws a new wrinkle into it, because in order to do all that construction, we just passed the construction at the Bellagio, and you can tell that they had to close off 2 lanes out of the 6 that pass, and actually 7 that pass in front of there, in order just to do that podium. Now imagine what is going to take place once they start building a guitar right 100 feet from the edge of the street. Of course, they are going to have to close down the strip. How are they going to close down the strip if the F1 track runs right in front of that? Are they going to do a new track? Are they going to move where it comes and goes? I don't think so, because they invested in all the paving. So how in the world are they going to get their construction accomplished and have F1 at the same time. I'm sure the Seminole tribe is like, what the actual F? Because the timing is just about where they probably started negotiation and finalizations for the property when F1 was also under negotiation. So they're probably not too thrilled about it, because it is going to interfere with construction, or construction is going to interfere with F1. So they have it's going to be a finely orchestrated thing. Whether it's going to happen, whether they're going to bail on these plans, whether F1 even comes back. I mean, everyone's talking like it's a given. It might not be a given, because all you're seeing is the positive spin that the town is putting on F1, but in reality, probably did more harm than good, in this man's opinion, and in a lot of local business opinion and strip business opinion. The shows did bad, the restaurants did bad, everyone did bad except F1. So that remains to be seen. So rest assured, you will probably still be able to have a Mirage-like experience, because it still, has same feel, same look, same characters of the Mirage for another at least a year and a half. Like I said, they're predicting right now, the talk is that they should be complete with construction sometime the beginning of 2028 to mid-2028. They're anticipating 30 to 36 months of construction. That puts construction kickoff, if you do the math and follow along, approximately mid-2025. So that's a solid year and a half from now. Things could change. Anything can change. This is Las Vegas. They could sell it to someone else in the interim. Who knows? But that's what I do know as of right now. So I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and of course, hit that bell button to get notified when I drop more videos, do more lives, do more news, all the good stuff. And don't forget to click on all the links down there to help support the channel. I do appreciate that very much. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.